Welcome to the Positive Persistence Podcast, where ordinary people inspire your extraordinary success. Hey, what's up, family? Our guest today is an author. She's a transformational coach, an intuitive sound healer, NLP Master Practitioner, and expert in human design, with a mission to empower individuals to recognize and seize life's opportunities. Now, she helps people break free from resistance and energetic blockages that hold them back. She combines her extensive experience in holistic healing with innovative strategies to guide her clients toward personal growth and resilience. Now, her insights on embracing authenticity and aligning with one's true purpose inspires others to live intentionally and pursue their passions. Sandra Lee, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's terrific being here with you, Ian.
Sandra, I'm so glad that you could come on, especially after our last conversation. For you guys listening and some of you who are watching, I had the opportunity to talk with Sandra last week. And Sandra, I am still just amazed by your intuitive skills. I had the opportunity to go through a little bit of what Sandra does with some of her clients, and it really was eye-opening and amazing. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But Sandra, what I want to jump in here off the top is you refer to yourself as a life opportunity catalyst. And I'm wondering if you can elaborate on what that means and how you actually empower individuals to recognize and seize opportunities in their own lives.
So often, people get themselves into situations where they feel stuck. They don't feel like they can have what they want. And I know that a big part of your message is, if you're in that place, where do you choose to be instead? What is it that you want to have in your life experience intentionally? And supporting people in seeing those opportunities and then grabbing them, moving forward and taking those opportunities to move forward. And I have been working a lot with people who experience brain injuries or some situation that has them feeling like, oh, I'm in this and there's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. And unfortunately, the medical system very often guides people to be in that place by telling you either there's nothing wrong with you and clearly there's something that's very not the way they want it to be. Or we've done everything you can for you. You just have to live with it. When it's quite possibly an incapable of living with this situation. Some people have injuries that are so intense and it takes over their life. Unfortunately, I have found that some people choose to define themselves by their limitations rather than by who they decide they want to be. And they allow that to keep them stuck. And so seeing the opportunities to move forward in life and grabbing them, that's what you and I both support people in doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned this, and one of your key aspects of your work is helping with people heal from brain injuries or healing their brain. Can you share with us, because I'm sure that people are asking, well, how do you do that? Can you share how you do that and how the individuals that you work with can use what you teach them to overcome barriers and maintain momentum moving forward towards healing or towards their life goals?
Let me start with how I grew into this place, because it didn't just come as a teaching or anything like that. It evolved. So I started when I was just out of college. I started studying bodywork and healing and stuff like that, doing massage therapy. And I decided to start taking craniosacral bodywork. Craniosacral is a form of bodywork that works with the very small motions of the bones of the head and the bones of the spine, and really to some extent the rest of the body. And before I took the class, I was reading the book for the class. And in my mind, I'd started seeing the bones. There's all these bones that make up the head, and they move about the magnitude of the thickness of a piece of paper. So I started seeing them before the class started from reading the book. It's like, wow, this is amazing. I'm seeing inside the body when really, there's all this skin and stuff out here. But I started seeing the bones and seeing the motions of the bones. So with that experience, I started also seeing the emotions that are stored in the body, the history, the stresses, the things that happened. I started seeing them stored in the body, where they get stuck. And I started seeing the connection between that history, those emotional states, those thoughts and things like that store in the body, and the symptoms that people have. And helping people make that consciously, the awareness that, oh, the stress, the argument I just had with my spouse, that's like the tension in my body. And then that enabled people to then start freeing themselves from those limitations. Because when I am aware, oh, this is what I've got held in my body, the pressure, the responsibility, all the weight of the things that I have to do in the world weighs me down. With a conscious awareness of that, I am able to choose, well, do I want to hold that in my body? Not really. And so to liberate myself from those limitations. So that's kind of how I started getting into here. And then I started working with people for head injuries. Started with helping people with migraines and headaches. And when I'm working with people, I like helping them understand the biology, helping them understand the physiology, the parts. In my experience, lots of people, it's like, I don't know anything about that stuff. Just like I don't know how my cell phone works. I don't know how my body works. When I don't know how my body works, it puts me in a disempowered place when it comes to being able to help my body heal. If I want to help my body heal, particularly when it's something as intense as a major accident, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And if I am helpless about knowing what's going on with my body, that makes me somewhat helpless when it comes to healing myself. So when I'm working with people, I like describing the physiology to them, describing the biology, so that they have the ability to, with their attention and their intention, tell their body what they want it to do. So Ian mentioned that I did a little demonstration with him because I wanted him to be able to say, okay, so this is what's going on. And this is what I want you to do, body. With your thoughts and with your emotions, with your beliefs, you are giving instructions to your body about what you want it to do. And when it comes to having an injury, there can be very specific things that you want your body to do. And so I believe supporting you in understanding what's going on in the body and then setting the intentions makes all the difference in the world.
What you said, I think, is overlooked. And a lot of people don't realize that it's something that is true, that sometimes our physical ailments are connected to our emotional baggage. So like you said, you had your migraine or your headaches may be connected to some sort of, whether it's a trauma that you experience or a recent argument that you experience or it's just stress in general. And that is actually held in your body. So do you believe also then that trauma, that emotional state is in your muscles, in your tissues, in your cells, and it's held there over time until you're able to release it?
Let me tell you an example of one of my clients. She had had a headache every day for 13 months. No matter what she did, she went to like 8 doctors and 2 sleep studies, and she, worked on her nutrition, all of these things. No matter what she did, she still had a headache every day. She was taking an expensive medication and she was still having a headache every day. So I worked with her the first time and she had a headache that day. And by the end of the session, the headache was gone. And she didn't have a headache for 4 days, which was amazing. Right? To go from a headache every day, knowing that when I wake up, I'm going to have a headache, to going 4 days without, like, something is possible. But then the headaches came back. So she and I started doing neurolinguistic programming, NLP, together to help her understand, why do the headaches happen? I believe that symptoms are your body or your beingness saying, I need you to pay attention to something. Because the only way your unconscious mind has to get your attention is to show it to you. And one way it does that is symptoms. So I got her to understand, okay, so when the pain comes, ask yourself, what's the message? What are you trying to tell me, body? And once she started getting that and tying it to the things that had happened early in her childhood that were stuck, that were not the way she wanted it to be, it gave her access to saying, okay, I got the message, body. I don't need the symptom anymore. When you know what the content is, it enables you to take it as a signal. Oh, I'm paying attention now. Thank you. And then, okay, body, I don't need the signal.
That is, in its totality, so powerful, right? To know that you have, like you said, you give away your power when you don't understand your body, but just understanding the simple fact that you can, just by probably guided thought, but you can understand why you're feeling a certain way and you can fix it.
Yes.
And you can fix it without medication, right? You have the power to actually heal yourself in a lot of situations. I think that's amazing.
Yes. And then there's another aspect of it that you just kind of touched on, but I actually want to highlight. Okay. So when the symptom comes, say pain, and I realize I was like, oh, so when I have this, usually it means this. It makes sense of it. And a big thing that I know that people struggle with is feeling like these things just happen to them and they're outside of their control. Like my client, right? She had a headache every day for 13 months. No matter what she did, it didn't go away. So it's like, it's morning time. I'm going to have a headache today. Bummer. As opposed to when I have a headache, oh, what's this trying to tell me? I can get the message and it'll go away. Huge difference in experience. Feel like it's out of my control and I am helpless and it doesn't make any sense. It's like it just happens out of the blue. Or there's logic to it. It makes sense and there's something I can do. A world of difference between those experiences.
How much of that difference, Sandra, do you believe is expectation? Because I hear what you're saying and I'm wondering, like, is there a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're going to bed expecting to wake up with a bad headache? So now you're just deepening that neural pathway of, I'm going to have pain in the morning. I'm going to have pain in the morning. I'm going to have pain in the morning. So when you wake up, you're going to have pain in the morning. So is there power in changing the expectation of the outcome first?
Absolutely. Belief. What you believe is going to happen. Let's put this in my experience. Okay. So because of a car accident and an ex-husband choking me, okay, I understandably had neck pain and head pain personally. Now, for 40 years, I have been an energy healing practitioner, choosing to believe that whatever is going on physically, it's possible to change it with mental and emotional healing. This is a belief I chose to have. But at the same time, I hadn't experienced it yet myself. Mm-hmm. So there was doubt. It's like, well, I believe this, but is it really true? I know it works for other people, but does it work for me? Because I hadn't experienced it, right? So there's this doubt. So I kind of thought, it's like I just always have this pain in my neck. And so there's that level of belief in it that when it comes, I'm not surprised. It's like, oh, this is just my normal. Mm-hmm. Whatever my experience of my normal is, expectation. I know that the sun is always going to come up in the morning and then it's going to go down and we're going to have night. That always happens. If my symptoms are as predictable as that, I am anticipating, I am expecting, I am believing, and there's very much doubt in my ability to do anything to change that. Right? But at the same time, I wanted to believe, okay, I think this is possible. I want to believe this is possible, but I didn't believe it because I hadn't experienced it. Mm-hmm. So in my Master NLP certification training, I went through this huge healing where I was talking with my mother, basically an instant very early in my life was the root of all of the ineffectiveness in my life. It's one thing was the root of all of my issues. And I knew it, but I hadn't healed it yet. So in this session in my master certification training, I was like talking to my mother and I was sobbing. Snot was all over the place. And I just released all of the stuff. And it's like time stood still. All the colors changed and the pain in my neck and head was gone. It really does work.
Yeah.
It is possible through this mental and emotional healing, this woo-woo stuff, to actually have a change in the physical state. Oh my goodness. Everything is different because with that belief, suddenly so much more becomes possible.
Yeah.
Now I believe it not just for myself, but I also believe it for everybody else, for the people who I work with, for the people who don't believe. I now know it is actually possible for them to improve. Belief changes everything.
Can you say that one more time?
Belief changes everything.
Yes. Yes. So many of us don't have the belief in ourselves that we can do amazing things. And you're right. Once you can change that limiting belief, that self-doubt, man, that really opens the doors up, that unlocks your potential, really. Absolutely.
So Ian has told me his story. And I imagine you've probably shared your story with your audience, right? It also makes a big difference what you choose to believe that authorities tell you.
Yeah.
If the doctors say, this is what your future is going to look like, and you choose to believe them, you may be limiting yourself to a future that looks like what they say. Mr. Bowen here, Ian, he says, that's not going to be my future. I am going to heal this. The world of difference between those two is like the Grand Canyon. Ian was not going to allow the doctors to dictate what his future looked like. He says, I'm going my own direction, thank you. And he had total conviction. He believed no matter what actually happened in his session, whatever, it's like, I'm getting through this. And for those of you out there, if you have doctors telling you this is what's possible for you and it's something you want different, trust yourself, choose to believe and be totally committed to getting better.
Absolutely. There's power in that for sure. And I can speak to that, right? Because that's part of my experience. That's right. Sandra, I want to talk about this because I had the opportunity to read this recently, and you are a co-author in the Energy Medicine Solution. And in it, you go into over your 12 years of experience in something called human design analysis. Now, I was hoping you could share with us what that is and how you actually integrate that into your coaching and with your clients.
Human design, based on the positions of the planets when you were born, says a whole lot about who you are and your purpose and the role you serve in the world, the things that you are here to contribute to the world. And before learning human design, I didn't believe that the positions of planets mattered for me because I had had astrology readings and I still don't remember anything from them. So I didn't believe that the positions of the planets mattered. And then I learned when my teacher was talking to like thousands of people on a teleseminar, I learned something about myself and my life that is practical and relevant every day. That I get angry all the time. And that anger is normal for me. And I'm supposed to feel angry. And it's actually part of my purpose. It's part of how I'm here to serve the world through anger. Because if we didn't get angry, nothing would ever change in the world. Just like symptoms are a call for attention, emotional states like anger are a call for attention. There's a message there. So that took in like a very short period of time, the biggest thing that I used to judge myself about and turned it into, there it is. I'm peaceful about it. And it turned it into a gift. So there may be things about yourself and your life that you don't understand, or that you wish were different, or that you don't like about yourself, similar to me with the anger. And helping you see that it's actually part of who you are, that it makes sense, and it's part of your gift. So this chart with all these crazy lines and colors and numbers and stuff like that has the ability to help you make sense of yourself and your life, and to understand why you are here on the planet alive, what your contribution is.
That's amazing. You used a word purpose, and I want to come back to that. And I want to actually quote you from the book, where you say, focusing thoughts, emotions, and intentions on any experience enhances it. With this understanding, you can amplify your experiences by focusing them through the lens of your purpose. How does one find what their purpose is so they can focus their thoughts, emotions, and intentions on it? Because some of us are out here like, I don't know what is my purpose in life other than what society tells me I'm supposed to be doing. You know, what my parents have told me that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be, going to college and getting a good job and starting a family and all of those things. But if you really want to understand what your purpose is, your individual purpose, how do you go about discovering that?
There's two different ways that I personally do that. One is through human design, because everything on that chart, you could say, is part of how you express your purpose in the world. And looking at the chart, I say that I help you understand that you are living your purpose no matter what you are doing 24/7. Even if you're taking out the garbage, you are living your purpose. And that helps people see that they are always serving, always making a difference. And so many people was like, oh, I don't make a difference. I don't know why I'm here. I don't have any value. And so helping people see that no matter who you are, 24/7, you are living your purpose. So that is part of it. And the part about helping people look at what they don't understand, or what they do want and what they don't like, and just all these things, help them fit all of it into the picture of their purpose, like a puzzle.
Yeah.
So the human design chart is terrific for that. The common reason why people would come to me for human design is they're looking at changing their job, or trying to figure out, what is it I'm here to do? What is my purpose? It's a common reason why people seek human design, and helping them say, okay, so these are the things I'm considering. I want to do this. I'm considering doing counseling and doing this and do that. And so I help them see from the perspective of your chart, if you were to do counseling or be a therapist, this is what it would look like. If you were to do this other thing, this is what it would look like. So I help them see that whatever it is that's in your chart can be expressed in whatever it is you're doing. And if somebody wants to, they have no idea what their purpose would be, what they would be doing, I could say, well, it's going to have these qualities. Some people are explorers. Some people like to investigate. Some people are emotional. Other people are, more logical. So helping people see it's going to look these different ways, recognizing that all of those ways can be expressed no matter what it is you're doing. Okay. So that's one based on the human design chart. Then I also have something I call evolutionary purpose. Energetically, using a tuning fork and a hockey puck, it helps me look at the person energetically and see what their big picture purpose is.
It's time to ask yourself, when was the last time you prioritized you? Did you know that research shows that nearly 85% of high performers struggle to maintain a performance mindset while juggling the demands of work and personal life? Those who actively prioritize their performance mindset and personal growth are 30% more likely to achieve their goals in business and life. If you're feeling crippling stress and anxiety, or if you're feeling guilty when you take a moment for yourself, or if you're stuck in the grind and feeling burnt out, you're not alone. Many of us yearn for more, but struggle with the fear of being judged or feeling selfish. And you want to step into the next best version of yourself. That's why I created the Rinse Method, which got me from paraplegic to marathon runner. Backed by science-based proven strategies and now customized for high performers like you. If you're stuck and stressed and want clear steps that you can implement today to move forward, make sure you visit thepositivepersistence.com to download our free Rinse PDF.
I look at evolutionary purpose as being how you contribute not just to your life and the people you know and the sphere of people you know, but how you contribute to the evolution of all that is. The evolution of humanity, the evolution of the universe. You can say that what you are doing contributes to that. So would you like a little demonstration of that for you now?
I would love for our viewers to be able to check this out. Because this is what Sandra led me through last week. And I thought it was fascinating. So those of you who are listening, just so you know, Sandra has exactly what she said. She has a hockey puck and a tuning fork in hand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ian, I am going to looking at your personal purpose as it's being expressed through your podcast and how it's serving humanity and evolution of all that is. And I mean, even before I strike the tuning fork, it's like what I see is that it's like you're helping people see the backdrop of their life and their role in life. You help people see that, see and understand and relate to their big picture purpose. And this is like live in the moment. Like I didn't anticipate doing this. So imagine that the wall behind me is like fills the whole space, right? You help people see that big picture. Like, why am I here? Well, I'm here to contribute to that big expanse that's bigger than me, humanity-wide. And it feels like you help people see details as well in the big picture. It's like each person has a facet of what makes the big picture happen. And you help people find joy in the contribution they make to the world. That was fun.
I love those descriptions, and I really hope that those are what our listeners and viewers get out of this, being able to see their backdrop in terms of what they can achieve, what their potential is, and the things that they're capable of doing when they strip back limiting beliefs or when they strip back other people's perceptions of their abilities, and so they can contribute with their purpose and make this world a better place, make their lives a better place, really, intentionally. Thank you for that. I want to circle back to something that you mentioned before about anger, because I know that you created something called the spectrum of anger. Can you tell us what that is about?
I mentioned when I was talking about human design, I think it was, that I get angry a lot. And this used to be a big problem. And I realized that this is actually part of my gift. So I recognized that I am actually an expert on the topic of anger. And I get angry a lot. And it used to be a problem and now it's not. And I recognize, this is something that so many people struggle with, this experience of anger. And, studying NLP, I learned that so many people have an experience from early in life that anger was bad. There may be somebody in your family who was violent and abusive and clearly dangerous when it came to anger. And it's like, oh, that's bad. I don't want to be that. Or it could be like me, where I got scolded for getting upset. And I learned in no uncertain terms that being angry was not okay. And along with that, it's like, however it is I feel, that's not okay. So I learned to suppress all of my emotional expression. It was not okay to get upset. It wasn't okay for me to be happy either. And as I do NLP with people, I learned that so many people have experiences like that. They don't know how to feel emotions because it wasn't safe. So I decided in 2025 to create the spectrum of anger, this framework where we reframe our experience of anger, because really all of the emotions are normal. The issue is when they get stuck. So if we imagine we have all of the uncomfortable emotions, everything from I don't know what I'm doing, I'm worried, how do I look, people aren't going to like my hair, and all of those rejection, those low level, pretty normal concerns and worries. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to the other side, where all the intense emotions like terror and rage and all that stuff, all of it is normal. So you have guilt and shame and all of these things. What if they're all normal? And we don't have to suppress any of them. The issue is when we feel emotions and we're not able to fully experience them, express them, and get our needs met, we learn that it's not okay to feel them, and we learn to restrain them. The only way we have to stop that natural self-expression when we're a baby is to physically restrain it. And when I hold back that expression, it stores in my body over and over and over again. I learned that it's not okay for me to cry. It's not okay for me to get upset. It's not okay for me to do all these things. And it stuffs and it stuffs and it stuffs and it stuffs and it stuffs. Ultimately, I think it contributes to pain. When I suppress myself my whole life, I feel pain in my body from all of the tension of all of that.
Yeah.
It contributes to pain and it contributes to dis-ease. And then in addition to that, when I can't feel these emotions, they lead to formation of beliefs about myself and what's possible for me in life. I can't be heard. I can't be seen. I can't have for what I want. I can't ask myself. I can't express myself. All of these things form really very early in life. So that's why so many people feel like they're not good enough. They're not loved. They can't do what they want. They can't have what they want. Can't have all these things are pretty much normal experiences for your average person. And I think that they're universal because pretty much everybody has them. So when we go to, okay, we can fully express and experience these things, get our needs met, I don't have to stuff them anymore. And it changes what's possible. It enables me to take my negative beliefs and reframe them, choose differently around them. And then in current time, okay, so I feel angry. Is there something I need to do? Is there somebody I need to communicate with? Take care of that. And then I can let it go. Changes everything about what's possible for me.
Sandra, that's amazing. I'm sitting here listening like, okay, I'm drawing correlations between what you're saying and my experiences in my life and how I felt about, limiting beliefs and self-doubt and things. And it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. That's where that's coming from. That's incredible. And I want to kind of talk to you for hours on that. But I have another question I want to ask because again, from this book, I want to read you a quote because in the book, you talk a lot about shine. And here you say that when you experience feeling connected and being seen, like you've been talking about, you enter a vibrant, energetic, and emotional state of aliveness and freedom I call shine. So it's just kind of like the antithesis of what you were just talking about, the other side of the coin. So can we talk about what shine is and how you get there and what that means?
I was talking about doing human design. Right? And when doing human design, I take somebody who I don't know, right? Like a lot of times when I'm doing human design, they find me on the internet. I don't know anything about them. And all I know is what's on the chart and then what they tell me when they come on to our Zoom call. So this is somebody who's a complete stranger to me. Because I see the chart, I see everything about how they're designed. It's like their blueprint. And when I tell them things on the chart, there's like, oh my goodness, that is so me. They have the experience that I see them in a way that they don't even see themselves. And that the people in their lives have never understood this fundamental thing about them. Human design charts are so accurate. It is crazy. So when I tell somebody I don't know, this really important thing about themselves, they feel like they are seen. Okay, so here's an example. I was in a one-to-one networking meeting with somebody who I really had only met through my networking group, and we were sitting down for a one-to-one. And it's really common for when somebody says something about themselves, I wonder how that shows up in your human design chart. And right there on the spot, I run a chart and I tell them something about it. And so I told her, the most important thing to you is love. You just want everybody to feel and experience love for themselves, for the people they know, and to feel like they are loved. So I told her that. And she said, well, of course, isn't everybody like that? And it's like I said, well, yeah, to some extent, but for you, love is the central thing of all existence. It's the most important thing. It's like the lens through which you look at all of life is love, the presence or the absence of love, wanting there to be more love for yourself and for everyone else. And for her, this was so much like her fabric that it was normal. But to have me see that and to tell her that this is who you are and this is special about you. You have love in a way that most people out there don't do love. And it's like, when somebody has that experience, it's like, oh, you really get me. They glow. They have that shine. We see those pictures of Jesus and saints, and they have this halo around them, around their head. That's what people look like. When I see them and they get that experience, like, oh, you really see me. Being seen and heard is a foundational need that all humans have. But we also have this experience that, nobody out there gets me. I'm not seen. Such a common experience. People feel like they're invisible. I've been in rooms with hundreds of people and I feel like I'm invisible, right? So when somebody gets the experience that, oh, you really get me. You really see me. It's like oh, yeah. And energetically, they beam, they shine.
Their aura changes because their vibration has, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That experience of, somebody or the world gets me. There's a peacefulness. There's a love, that exudes when people feel seen.
Yeah. Do you think that, and I don't know, this may be way off, but do you think that when you have that feeling that you are now letting your walls down and it allows you to now connect with the world and the people around you, and it allows you to, again, not be guarded so you can let things in and feel like you, because you said something earlier that hit me sideways. You said people don't know how to feel their emotions, right? And I think a lot of times people feel that the word feeling and emotions are synonymous. So when you said that was interesting. People don't know how to feel their emotions. So maybe is it in that moment where you feel seen, you are now starting to feel those emotions of being one with the universe, being one with the energy around you, and you let that guard down, and that's where your vibration changes and your aura changes.
I used to be really messed up. That 6-month event that happened that, led to all of what was ineffective about me and my mother. And I would, go through life and it's like, just feel like there's this barrier and that I'm separate from people. And there was all of this tension and all of this judgment, all of this mess. And now I am like, I'm just me. I don't withhold who I am anymore. And I'm able to know how I feel and express myself in the moment and how it changes moment to moment. And it is so much easier a place to be me without all the wondering, oh, are people going to like me? All of this stuff, that I build into my interactions, this barrier, if I'm not okay. And so, it's been a long time now, fortunately, that I have had the freedom to just be and it is so much work maintaining the barrier, maintaining the guarding and, judging myself and wondering and worrying and are they going to, it's exhausting maintaining all of that. So now that I don't do that anymore, I'm just much more relaxed, and it's much easier for me connecting with people and seeing people and interacting with people from this place of just being.
Sounds like a wonderful way to live.
It is. I don't have one with me right now, but I have these little cards. And on the front, it says, "You are a miracle." And on the back, it says, "You are loved." And I carry them with me all of the time. And I'm just going around. I'm in the grocery store. I'm in the bank. I'm walking down the street, and I see somebody. And it's like, it's part of my natural way of being to think, how can I contribute to this person? And so I pull out one of these cards and I give it to them. So it's like the woman I bought this little thing at the hardware store, she gives me my change and I give her this card, and she's like, she lights up because in that moment, I'm a real person and you're a real person. I will probably never see you again. And I've seen you in this moment and given you something that says you are a miracle and you are loved. And it's like, so often people say, this is the best thing that's happened to me all month. Thank you. It's changed my day. Yeah. So it's just like just seeing people and allowing that barrier to come down so that it's just you, a real person, and me, a real person. And in this moment, there is so much quality because we get to be real with each other. And everybody just gets to be seen and themselves and relax in being loved and connected.
That is awesome. Sandra, I could talk to you for hours, but unfortunately we do have to wrap this up, unfortunately. But I want to let our listeners and viewers know how they can learn more about you, your services, how you can help them get unstuck, how you can help them fix their brain. If they're interested in any of that, how can they find you, and what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The easiest way is to get a free gift from me and then get on my newsletter list and giving people the Body Symptoms Decoder. So it's a document that I put together that helps you say, oh, I have a headache. What might that mean? And it just gives you possible ways to look at what the message might be from your body that's showing up as a symptom. And so if you go to shinewithsandra.com/body, that will get you the Body Symptoms Decoder. Then you'll receive email from me and you can contact me directly through the information in the email. shinewithsandra.com/body.
Well, Sandra, thank you so much for joining us today. And it has been a pleasure. And I know that our listeners and viewers have gotten a lot out of this conversation. So we'll wrap it up like we always do, guys. Thank you for being here. And remember, stay positive, stay persistent, and remember that mindset is everything. Thank you for tuning in and being part of the Positive Persistence family. We're having a great time creating this content, and we truly hope it inspires you to embrace positivity and persistence in your own journey. If this podcast episode inspired you or entertained you, scroll down, hit those stars, and leave a comment or two. Your 5-star reviews and shares encourage us and help us grow the show. So until next time, stay positive, stay persistent, and remember, mindset is everything.